Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Varun Pawar, and I am a CBAP professional. So far, what we have discussed about the strategy analysis knowledge area, and we have covered the current state description. And today we'll talk about define future state. So let's go ahead. So define future state, I'll keep showing you this table till at the end of this strategy analysis because this is the important and the similar tables I would be showing in different other knowledge areas as well because this information is just for you to memorize. So far, we have discussed is like for analyze current state, we have need and the illustration result confirmed as an input, and we are getting the current state description and the business requirement. Today, we'll talk about define future state, and we know that the business requirement is the output of the analyze current state, that is an input for define future state, and we are getting business objective, future state description, and potential value. Let's try to understand all those outputs with the this slide. So assume again that the application is a Walmart and that application is crashing when a user base is reaching above the 1 million, which is a kind of a why the change has been initiated. And with that, the business objective of an organization is to reach the 10 million users. So we do have identified, we have the objective there for to reach the 10 million users, but there are different factors that is coming up, which also is a kind of the reason that why we have to do that. So one could be the business requirement that the application was failing. Second is to increase the user satisfaction. Or third could be more users you want or could be more revenue. So these are the business requirement that we have to achieve. Then there are the stakeholder requirements that is derived from the business requirement itself. We will talk about those relationship in our upcoming slides when we'll talk about the requirements and the type of requirements. Now, to reach to the 10 million users, the different stakeholders gives different inputs, and the recommendation you would say that let's install the multiple application servers that would be having a potential value of 3 million euros that we will consider as a future state one. So when we are talking about the different options available to reach to the 10 million users, we come up with a different future state description or a different future states you would say. I am considering the point one as a future state one, this as a future state two, this as a future state three, and so on. Why? And another thing is when we are talking about the stakeholder requirements, these at the end the stakeholders need to be having a common consensus. This means that they should not end up with a mess like most of the stakeholder prioritized that fifth future state is the prioritized one, and we are working on a first future state or first requirement. That should not happen. So we have to take a consensus. Based on that consensus, we generally prioritize the requirements, and that goes like 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of ranking, negotiation, or grouping, you can say. These are the ways of prioritizing the backlog. So that way we prioritized and then we work accordingly. So each future state having their own potential value and the value for the stakeholders as well. So that way we used to look. So when now you compare, so now if you try to compare, the input is the business requirement, which is this. Then we have a different stakeholder requirements. So these are the different stakeholder requirements that would help us to achieve on a future state description. And for each future state, we have to create a separate or a specific future state description. Then the objective is to reach to the 10 million users. We have a current state, we have a future state, and obviously the consensus has to meet. Now, if you try to read those points, then you will able to relate those as per my previous slide, the purpose of defined future state is to determine the set of necessary conditions to meet the business need. The purpose, this is very important statement. You can memorize this, I would say, because there could be a question on that. The purpose of a future state analysis is not to create a comprehensive description, right? It's not to create a comprehensive description of the outcome at a level of detail that will directly support implementation. This means the future when we are talking about the analysis of the future state, the purpose is not to create something that will directly support in the implementation, right? The what knowledge area supports directly in the implementation is RADD, that is requirement analysis and design definition. We'll talk about this knowledge area later. But this future state analysis, it does not support directly the implementation, rather indirectly. So what this support is, the future state will be defined at a level of detail that allows for competing strategies to achieve the future state to be identified and assessed, provides a clear definition of the outcome that will satisfy the business needs, details the scope of the solution space, allows for value associated with the future state to be assessed, enables consensus to be achieved among key stakeholders. So we talked about consensus, we talked about the value, potential value, provide a clear definition of the outcome, allows for competing strategies. So these are the key important points you have to remember that when we are working in future state. So future state description, when we create a future state description, it's a kind of a documentation. So what this documentation consider in detail. So change may be needed. So whenever we are making any change to reach to the 10 million users, so different options we have identified, and we have ranked or prioritized those. But the changes, which are the areas where the changes could be done. So these are different areas you can understand, like it could be business process where you have to make a change, it could be a functions, it could be a line of business, it could be a organization structure, staff competencies, might be you need to enrich and upgrade that skill set, knowledge and skills, you have to give a training, the facilities, the desktop tools, you have to implement a new tool, organization locations, you have to change it, data and information, you have to add more information, application system and technology infrastructure, like you have to move on a cloud. So these are the different areas that where you can do changes to reach to the future state. Basically, this diagram I have just copied from the BABOK. So it represents the input and output and the guidelines. Basically, guidelines and the inputs are the common. You can consider both as an input for a defined future state. So when we are talking about the constraints, so there is a budgetary constraint, there is a cost and schedule constraint, that this project need to be achieved by this date, that date. The budget is that much, right? And then the current state description, which is acting as a base, right? On top of this, you are doing your analysis, and then in future state, you consider the current state description plus the future state steps. The metrics and the key performance indicator, as we discussed, it's directly related to the potential value, which is the final output of our future state as well. And then organizational strategy, these are like where the changes you have to do, and whatever things you are doing that should be aligned with the organization strategy. So these are the guidelines, the input as a business requirement, and then the output is business objective, future state description, and the potential value. Elements, these what elements you have to remember for defined future states are below. Business goals. Business goal is kind of a objective that create a new capability, such a new product or a service, improve revenue by increasing sales or reducing cost. You might be now able to relate that the first slide where I have shown you point A to point B, current state, future state, and different goals and objective, and there you can able to relate the business requirement and all. like increase customer satisfaction, increase employee satisfaction, comply with new regulation, improve safety, reduce. So then the goals should be smart. So smart, so this is abbreviated as smart because we are saying like goal should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Then other elements for defined future states are the scope of solution space, that you should know that how, what are the boundaries of the solution space. So we'll talk about the boundaries later, like the limits that the future state should be this and that should not cross that line. Constraints, constraints like I said, budgetary, time, technology. So that there could be a different set of constraints that comes up. Infra policies, limits, number of resources available, restriction based on skills of the team, requirement was that certain stakeholders not be affected by the implementation of the solution, compliance to the regulation, and any other restriction. We have organization structure and a culture that talk about the relationship, the reporting structure, the of the organization, whether this is organic, that is hybrid, that is so this need to be analyzed. Capabilities and processes. This capability analysis map I have already discussed in the first session with you while we were discussing about the analyze current state. Uh, Technology and infrastructure. Obviously, these are the elements that you need to consider. Policies, policies of the organization, business architecture, um, how the business line is being set up, internal assets, uh, identified assumptions. You have to there should be assumptions like when we are talking about the context, then the context comes up with some assumptions that within those context and the assumption we have to carry out the activities that should help us to reach to the future state. Potential value, while determining the future state, business analyst consider increase or decrease potential value from. So this is another important point that sometimes the question directly comes like determine the future state, business analyst considered what elements he considers. So it could be like external opportunities, unknown strength of new partners, new technologies or knowledge, potential loss of competition in the market, and mandated adoption of the change component. Now, so far, analyze current state. There's a very good way to memorize or relate things, and you can easily, when you have a comparison chart, you would able to relate and memorize things easily. So here is a chart for you. Analyze current state and define future state. So these are the, as you know, that the business need was the input for the analyze current state. So that's a the odd man out kind of thing, and the external influencer that was influencing the analyzed current state. But here those are highlighted in blue text or font. These are the separate odd man out, and you have to memorize these. Business goals and objective, that's one of the output of the future state. Scope of solution space, that's another output. Constraints we have to take care of, and then identified assumption and potential value. Potential value is output of the future state. All other elements you can directly relate to the analyzed current state, because we said that current state is a base for defined future state. So uh, half of the elements of the analyzed current state would also be in a future state. Organization structure and culture, capabilities and processes, technology and infra, policies, business architecture, internal assets, those are carried out from the analyze current. So for future state, we have to analyze these elements as well. Then the stakeholders. So which stakeholders are there that would help in doing this activity? Customer. Customer is the targeted purchaser, and here we have to analyze his readiness to you know, to implement the future state. The end user, the one who is expected to use that future state. Domain subject matter expert, they give insights on current and future state. Implemented subject matter expert, they give insights on how the future state will be implemented. Project manager gives input on reasonable and manageable future state. Regulator talks about the laws, policies, norms, regulations. Sponsors basically funding and giving the objective for the future state. Suppliers, suppliers support future state, how it delivers value. Testing, tester, test, he test or tester test the future state. Operational support, that's the help desk that support the operation of the future state. Now, so far, the guidelines that when I was talking about that slide, input, output, and the guidelines, that we have already discussed. Current state description provide the context within which the work needs to be completed. Metrics and key performance indicator determine whether the desired future state has been achieved based on the potential value for each future state. Organizational strategy describe the path, method, and approach an enterprise or organization will take to achieve its desired future state. Then there are a lot of techniques. The very easy way to understand like which technique is used under defined future state are all the analysis techniques that help to achieve or take a decision considered under future state, defined future state. So analysis like any type of analysis, market analysis, business capability analysis, decision analysis, financial analysis, SWOT analysis, all those analysis techniques comes under defined future state. And all other interviews, lesson learned, metrics, key performance, mind mapping, all those other techniques that helps to uh, arrive on a decision used under the defined future state activity or task. So that's it from my end. Thanks for watching my video. I'll keep posting such videos in future. I'm waiting for your questions and queries, and I'll definitely respond to your queries. Thank you again. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.